All right, it's time for another LinkedIn Local. Super excited. Tonight it's going to be really cool because there's a panel, and I'm the moderator of the panel, so I get to ask the questions, which I've never done before, but I think I'm not going to have a problem doing it. So super excited, and I'm going to bring you along, introduce you to a lot of really cool people. It's going to be a great night. We're here at Lucky's 1313.
What'd you say? Biffles. How did you not know that? BFFL? BFFL?
It might be a debut thing.
It's a debut thing, yeah.
Here's one of the panelists. She's already in the house.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's good. Are you ready to do this?
I am. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
I'm ready for you to bring the fire.
You know it.
My coach is here.
Hi, guys.
And so this is kind of like accountability, like at its extreme. We're doing selfies too.
LinkedIn Local with Neil.
Yeah.
He's videoing.
Caleb is growing up here. He's got bags. I mean, he used to always carry this backpack.
I still have the backpack.
He does.
Still have the backpack.
But when he's serious, he brings out the case.
How they're really, it rolls, it's waterproof, everything you could ever need.
Before this, I had like 4 questions that I was gonna ask, and then all of a sudden I got a list of like 8 more questions. So like I'm fully loaded with questions. I was a little nervous that I wouldn't have enough questions, but I think I'm good now.
If you're writing it for the world, you are forgetting that you're trying to engage a bunch of individual people, not a stadium. This is not Madison Square Garden. I like to say social media is a telephone, not a megaphone. You're not talking to 1,000 people, you're talking to one person 1,000 times.
If you know it's a troll, if you know it's a hater. But I think my thing is like, respond to everything with a smile. At the very least, I'm probably gonna say thanks. Because what that tells me is if you bother to type something out on my feed, that tells me that you're thinking about me, which is never a bad thing.
It's when it comes to online, entirely keeping the negative people out, I would say it's impossible. Maybe these guys maybe they can correct me if I'm wrong, but I have had trolls on all, right? I've had trolls, since my very first video, I've had what I call trolls. And honestly, if you have 100 comments and one person says, hey, I don't like your millennial, this one guy, he said, you gotta follow me on Instagram, y'all. He said, I don't like your millennial hip hop hat and your hand gestures. This is out of 100 comments. I don't care. I don't care. You're one negative comment, and I don't respond, but I'll leave it on there so other people can see that there's still morons in this world. But that's my deal, right? Out of 100 comments to get one bad, I'll take that all day. So I would say put out that, always be positive, right? Always be a good human being. But at the end of the day, when it comes to online, if somebody wants to be, for lack of a better word, like a dickhead, for lack of better words, just let them, right? Like, it's one person. Now, if you have 20, 30, 50, maybe that's some feedback for you, right?
But don't just make sure you're distinguishing between trolls and unhappy customers. Because there's a big difference between somebody who's very specifically saying they had a bad experience at your establishment than someone who says, hey, you suck, you should die. And the latter, yeah, don't get engaged. Like, that's a waste of your time. Like, you're taking off soul points, But the former, that's an opportunity to both flip the script on their experience of your restaurant or store, but also, like, all the other people that see that comment should know that, like, that's not the normal situation. Most people are very happy with it.
Like we talked about, just coming from the standpoint of having your own personal social media, but also working for a company as well and being that brand, it was really helpful, and I learned a lot on like creativity as well, and not reaching for it and striving for it and looking for that creativity, but just letting it come to you naturally.
What do you think of tonight?
It was good. These guys know what they're talking about when it comes to LinkedIn. Learned a lot. Little things about just kind of being a part of the community, kind of connecting, basically just making it like more real engagement as opposed to just talking into the void.
I like what Josh said about responding to comments, and that's a whole conversation. You don't just start it and then leave it. That's really where the action is. So
that you have to constantly be creating. If you get a chance to create and make content, you got to do it. So I got to create more content.
You gotta create more content?
I do!
Don't you create 2 pieces a week?
I don't. It's been like 1 a week, which seems impressive, right? But it's not. It's not.
And those that don't know, she's the one that organized this whole night. So
I organized it to learn. I wanted to learn too.
So we thank her a lot.
is amazing. What's your biggest takeaway tonight?
Yes, it was an amazing event tonight. I love the statement Rachel made about perfection being people's biggest handicap on social. So I appreciate authenticity and just being open and free with content. So excited to bring that to the table with upcoming posts.
There were so many takeaways. Community, the biggest takeaway about community is be authentic, be consistent, and just start. You know, do what you know best, but start. That was my biggest takeaway.
The engagement. So the whole concept of all those comments you get on those posts, have real engagement with them. Don't just see them, don't just like and do the fist bump emoji. Actually reach out to them, see what kind of connection you can make from them. All that engagement.
So as I always say, these are some of the most valuable events that you can attend. And even if you're watching this, even if you're not in Madison, say you're like somewhere else in the country, I don't even freaking care. If there is somebody that hosts a LocalX, go to it. Because you're going to meet so many like-minded people and so many inspirational people that your mind's going to be blown. So if you have it in your community, go. And if you haven't come to the one in Madison yet, come now.
It's always fun to get to talk to other really great marketers, and both the people on the panel, the moderator, of course, as well as everybody in the room. It's sort of like fills the fire, reinvigorates it to talk to other people who are taking the same concepts and applying them in slightly different ways.
When doing these speaking engagements, it's always, I guess not necessarily nerve-wracking for me, but it's always, my biggest thing is I always want to help people. And my favorite thing in the world to do is solve problems. And if you just create a keynote for a group of people, then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to talk to this particular demographic, and I think I'm going to help them by X, Y, and Z. On a panel, they say, okay, here's the question, this will help other people, boom, answer it. So for me, that's my favorite part, is being able to say, okay, here's the problem, here's the solution.
And commenting on people's posts is great, but the face-to-face networking, I know it sounds old school, but it works for me. And it can work for you.
But we finished like 20 minutes ago, and I'm talking to these two cool dudes. So get to your next LinkedIn LocalX Madison. Did I get that right? Like stat. You gotta look up when the next one is because it is a great time. Don't miss it.
That was a night, wasn't it?
I'm tired. I feel like an old man. I really enjoyed you as a moderator, dude. You did a really, really good job.
Oh, thanks, man.
I thought some panels where it wasn't that good. You did a really, really good job.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to keep it flowing and keep it cool.
And you did a good job at like just it was very natural.
Awesome.
It didn't seem like very like so it was just like, okay, so what about this? Like normal. Normal.
All right. Good. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. If you next time you got to come to a LinkedIn Local if you missed it. And thanks for watching. Hope everybody has a great night. And like always, remember to be the reason somebody smiles today. Do you like that cheesy send up? Seriously, what's your thought of that?
What do you think of it?
No,
I want to know.
We're getting out of here.
I think that if you're consistent with it, people will remember it.
Back to the consistent piece.
Okay. You know what?
Consistent.
He said this.
Gentlemen.
He said this cheesy line, and then asked what I thought about it. I'm like, it's cheesy, but if you're consistent with it, people will remember it.
Cheese is great. I love Richard Cheese. You know Richard Cheese?
Chantel was the first
Jazz
one who
singer.
introduced me to Wisconsin cheese curds when I moved up here from
Yes,
Louisiana.
and they're magic. Are they not magic?
They're pretty good. Yeah.
Super good.